Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Rating the Races. So this is part 2 of the analysis video for tomorrow. There are a few more selections here. Good news, we had a nice 3 from 3 today, which was good. So let's kick on and hopefully we can get a few more winners tomorrow. Starting off, the second part of this video, we're going to look at the 1240 at Sandown. And who do I like here? You can see it highlighted on my screen. It is Larchmont Lass. So why do I like Larchmont Lass? Well, there's actually 2 in this race that I like going forward. They are Larchmont Lass and Good Luck Charm. However, Good Luck Charm being ridden by Chad Chad Bayment. Let's go Bayment. Chad Bayment. That doesn't fulfill me with a lot of confidence, even though he's allowed to take £10 off. I do think the horse is on a very good mark, and I do think the horse is going to be. I think she's going to be better on better going as well. It's not even guaranteed to run, to be honest, this one. Whereas I think Larchmont Lass will run. She was much improved last time out after that wind surgery. I thought she eventually got the hang of it as well at Wincanton after appearing to just come under a bit of pressure, but then she ran on quite nicely. She's only up £4. Harry Cobden takes the ride, and that's a real positive in this race. There's quite a lot of young jockeys in this race trying to jockeys being used for claiming. I think some of them are going to get it wrong. Larchmont Lass, she's always been highly thought of, never quite got her act together. Eventually, did in handicap company last time out, having dropped down to a mark of 111, only up to 115. We've got to remember, when she actually first went into handicap company, she went off 5-1 for a grade 2 limited handicap. Much better horses in against her. This is still a moderate mare's handicap hurdle, and second time after a wind up, I think this isn't going to be an issue. She has won here before as well, on over 2 mile on the heavy going, so the ground isn't going to be an issue either if we do get racing going ahead. I think she is the one to beat. I think now, as a 6-year-old, she can kick on and go into the type of races that they were probably hoping she would end up in. And she's currently available at 5-2. I think she wins this and proves that she's a much better mare than this sort of level. I think she's, class 2 graded, listed handicap, top class handicaps, or even graded races for Larchmont Lass. I think she's better than these. So she's available at 5-2. We then go to Aintree for the 1257. Now, this is one that I have been waiting for, and it's a horse that I've highlighted in my emails as well. As a horse that you definitely want to have in your nagme. I think everything is ready for a big run here. And that is for Caher Roden. Pretty sure is it French? Just having a look on the other screen. Oh, it's Irish bred. I'm still going to say it's Caher Roden. Why? So last time out, finished 3rd behind Kick Up a Storm, the Bold Lady, in a novices handicap hurdle over 3 mile. The Bold Lady, who was the runner-up that day, went and finished 4th in another novice handicap hurdle, whilst the winner, Kick Up a Storm, went on to win again. Did indeed go on to win again before ending up in another race off a much higher mark. I think that was good form. I think the right horses were at the front. And I think this is certainly a winnable race for Caher Roden. Now, I think this is only Caher Roden's second handicap run. So very similar to who else won the second time in a handicap? Ho Jolie Smoke, we could say, did over fences, second time in a handicap and won. Lowry's Bar also did the same over fences. I think Caher Roden can do that over hurdles. This is only potentially its second effort, where he's coming here with a big chance and probably being aimed at winning this. Last time out, maybe, but hadn't had the run, has now had that run under his belt. I think he's going to take all of the beating here tomorrow. And he's a bigger price than I thought he would be, to be honest. He is available at 6s, and I'm quite happy with that, to be honest. I think he can run a really big race. He does have point-to-point form. His point-to-point form was actually pretty good. He was 4th not beaten that far really by Tully Hill, the 147 rated hurdler. Tully Hill wasn't that far in front of Caher Roden, and Caher Roden went a favourite that day. There's a lot more to come, I feel, from Caher Roden, and hopefully tomorrow is the start of that. Currently available at 6s. I think that's a bigger price than what he should be. Go to Ireland, to Navan. The 142 is a 3-mile handicap hurdle, a listed handicap hurdle, and I think the owners have... it's called the Bective Stud Tea Rooms and Apartment Handicap Hurdle. Well, they own my trump card, and I think my trump card is... I think he's going to win this. And at... Whoops, wrong race. This one here. And at available 11-2, currently available, I think that is a good price for my trump card. I think there's plenty in this that are looking at other things down the line. I think there's a few in here that just aren't good enough. And I'm really keen on Carl Miller. That sounds a little bit wrong, I think. I mean, I think he's been given some really good handicap horses. They're trying to get him on the right horses to probably get his handicap marks, his claim through for some reason. A couple of weeks ago, he rode, or on the 30th of November, he rode Harsh in a handicap hurdle. He rode American Mike. He rode Glan. He's a jockey that I'm thinking they are really trying to put on some of their best horses. When they want to claim 5, they're using Carl Miller. And I think he's doing pretty well. His riding action and style is good. I think it's a very useful 5 off. My trump card comes back to Navan, where the horse has won. Last time out, has actually been here 4 times, finished 4th in a bumper, 4th in a maiden hurdle, 2nd in a bumper, won a bumper, and then last time out won a maiden hurdle, beating Dr. Eggman pretty comfortably, I felt. They were well clear of the rest. This isn't the strongest of handicaps at all. I think my trump card will end up in graded races. I think some of these might end up in handicaps or stay in handicaps down the line. But yeah, my trump card for the owners who sponsor the race at 11-2. Sticking with Carl Miller, I think he's got another nice one in the handicap chase, the Foxrock handicap chase, and that is Mars Harper. Now, Mars Harper is quite a nice price here, to be fair, as well. We have a look. Mars Harper is currently available, just starting to get back now, at 16s. There is 20s in a couple of places. You'll probably get 16s at most places. So why do I like Mars Harper? Well, actually ran in this race last year. Didn't run disastrously. Finished 5th of 11 off a mark of 141 when going off 6-1. This year, it's running off 132, so a £9 lower mark. Carl's on board, taking another £5 off, so he's running off a £14 lower mark and is at least twice the price, sometimes even 3s, depending on 3 and 3.5 even, the price it went off last year. This is the trip that Mars Harper wants. Yeah, I think Mars Harper can run a really big race here. I thought the last time out effort when running in the Troy Town demonstrated that the drop back and trip will really suit. Came into it quite nicely, travelled okay, didn't appear to get home for me, but still ran a good race in the Troy Town. This is another feature handicap, dropping back in trip, dropped in the weights. Carl takes 5 off. I think there's so many positives about Mars Harper that I'm going to take Carl to go close in both of these big handicaps. That is Mars Harper at 16s or 18s in places. And finally, the last one I want to talk about is in the 247 back at Chepstow, and that is Thanks for the Help. Now, this horse was one of our selections last time at Cheltenham, and he ran okay, without quite proving good enough in that grade. That was a Class 2, and afterwards, when it got dropped, it didn't get dropped, it left on the same mark, I suggested that maybe it can go better in a slightly easier race. Because I actually feel that the 3 that beat Thanks for the Help that day, Doy Enquest, Gal Road and Noble Birth, were the right horses. Doy Enquest was on a real good sequence. Gal Road had previously placed in the Pertemps final. and Noble Birth was the Irish horse that I was worried about on that day. Now, I think they're all good Class 2 handicappers, whereas we're dropping into a Class 3 here, and I don't think these are as good Class 3 handicappers as... I don't think these are top Class 3 handicappers, whereas I think the horses that beat him in the Class 2 were top Class 2 handicappers, if that makes sense. Nick Schofield takes the ride. I don't mind that. I think he'll be able to give the horse a relatively good ride. And also the horse is back to Chepstow, where he previously beat my Bobby Dazzler here, off a marker 117. He runs off 118. He comfortably beat him that day. Yes, he then went up in the handicap, and last time out over course and distance, he actually got quite well beaten. Off a mark of 127, he's not running off that. He's running off 118 this time. He's back down to a mark that he can go very close off. And we've got to remember, he did actually got a favourite for a Temps final once. Clearly, a lot of it was expected of him. I think back at Chepstow, back on the softer ground, I think that's key for him as well. I think he definitely performs better when there's a bit of cut in the ground. And yeah, I think that race that he finished 4th in last time was actually a good handicap at Cheltenham. So this looks easier, and he is currently available at 4-1. I think he will go off the favourite. I think he'll get really well supported. Supremely West is really tricky. Loves finishing second. And I don't think any of the others are good enough. I really don't. So my selection in this race is Thanks for the Help. So they are my 5 on this video. Larchmont Lass, I think she can kick on from here after winning last time out. This doesn't look the best mare's handicap hurdle. And if she's as good as I think they think she is, she should be winning this. At Aintree, if it's on Caher Roden, I liked that form last time out. This is its second run in a handicap, the first time since it's been fit and running in a handicap, and it's been one I've been waiting for. I think my trump card can win the Bective Stud handicap hurdle for Bective Stud. Carl Miller's on board, I think, to take a very useful 5 off. Carl Miller, I think, can go well again on Mars Harper, who's significantly lower in the weights compared to last year. Only went off 6s last year, a much bigger price this year. This is the distance for Mars Harper. Didn't quite stay the 3 mile last time. And finally, Thanks for the Help. Dropped in class down to a Class 3 from a Class 2. This looks an easier Class 3 in comparison to the Class 2. I thought it was a very competitive Class 2, and the right horses beat him last time. Back over a course and distance that he's won over. I think he can win again here.